Growing up an only child, I grew very close to my cousins. You can imagine my reaction then when I found out there was one less cousin in the universe. It was on the morning of Labor Day 2020 that I was informed that my cousin Nick, who I'd grown up with and thought of as a sort of brother, had killed himself. While I would obviously give nearly anything to bring it back, I've learned some valuable lessons from this. I can still remember the morning I found out like it was yesterday, anticipating a Labor Day off from school. I'd been sleeping in, and I'm no stranger to that. Typically, to wake me up, mom would just kind of pop her head in and just say, it's time to get up, or it's time to get up. It's getting late. But then I just remember she just woke up by shaking me, not like hard, but it was certainly different. And she just said, Nick killed himself. We got to go to Graham's. She's taking it really hard. We just got to be there for her. And then just, I'm just getting there. I'm standing there getting ready, and I just mull it over in my head. It just doesn't sound right. Like, he killed himself. I mean, I can understand it, but like, why? And then on our way there, just kind of sank in that he's dead. He decided to, and never gonna see him again. It's tricky to describe, but like if you've lost someone really close to you and you're like informed in a way like that, where it just kind of happened, and it's just hard to believe, and it just kind of comes on with time. Yeah, I really felt it at my grandma's, because she was really distraught, being one of her oldest grandchildren. She was crying. She was a mess. And then Doug, who was Nick's father, called. They talked a bit, and he's like very much a man's man. So he's and I've grown up without a father, so he's been kind of a sort of a masculine figure for me. And I'd never heard him cry before then, and he was bawling. It was a tough sound to hear. I've never really heard anyone cry like that. And then Graham couldn't take it, so she went to another room to scream. She was let down. I mean, I understand, but uh, still, it's just had to hear. Yeah. So a lot of my cousins, they were kind of spread out and a little, grieving in their own ways. The only one who was at my grandma's with us was my cousin Nathan, who, well, Nick was one of my cousins who was like kind of a cooler older brother. Nathan was a bit like a more of an annoying younger one. So we just kind of awkwardly hung out. Like, I remember we actually just went out to the garage so we didn't have to hear Graham screaming. Like, it was a bad sound to hear. And, he understood suicide. He's like 13, but I kind of had to explain to him a little. He couldn't find work because of COVID, and then his daughter had just turned a year, and he was fighting with his girlfriend. It was a mess, and he had had some problems before, but we thought they'd been fixed, but no. So yeah, and it's funny. I kind of wanted to just tell Nathan to go away, kind of, because like it was something I was dealing with, and I just didn't want to talk to him about Nick's death. But so then when I thought about it, I thought like, what if, like, just in the next minute, Nathan got hit by a car, just spontaneously died, and that was his last sort of impression of me. That I just was just pushing him away, and just really made me think. The last time I saw Nick would be the 4th of July, and I mean, did I say something to him that upset him? Did he die thinking I hated him? Like, I mean, if you're depressed enough, you can believe anything, and I guess I'll never know. Yeah. Losing a valued family member like Nick has taught me something very important. Life is a very fragile thing. It can end at any moment. And while it's easy to comprehend the fact that you yourself, like, have a finite lifespan and will die one day, I think it's easy for us to forget that it's with other people too. Like I mentioned with Nathan, if anyone is just out of your sight, they can, in theory, just die at any moment. It's something kind of difficult to think about, but it's true in theory. Any moment you spend with someone can be that your last with them. And kind of ties into the other thing I learned. No matter what we think, our actions and our interactions are what build our relationships with people. Like, so no matter what I thought of Nick, like, I considered him a brother. If I didn't really treat him like that, he didn't No, I did. I mean, it, you know, we're young, we're teenage guys, so we kind of, well, he's older than a teenager, but you know, so we'd kind of talk a little disrespectfully to one another. I didn't mean to hurt him, but or did he not think of me at all? Did it just not occur to him? We'll never know. When someone important to you dies, all you can think about is what you could have done better. So my second takeaway is you got to learn to know how you can improve a relationship while he's still going before it ends in tragedy.